Alright, if you're tuning in, then you should have this paper in front of you, and it's called Representing and Solving Fractions. If you don't have this paper because maybe you're sick or you're at home, you can just grab a piece of notebook paper and follow along with the notebook paper. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and look at number 1, and it says the models are shaded to show the fractions of the miles Joshua walked in 2 days. So in day 1, we have some fraction information, and I see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those shaded. So the fractional amount of day 1 is represented by 5/12. Day 2 is represented by 1 piece out of 3. So we have a fractional amount represented of 1/3. What fraction of a mile did he walk during the 2 days? So what we're trying to figure out is what Joshua walked over 2 days. So the first thing that I want to notice is the fact that we have 2 fractional amounts and they are unequal amounts. So I have to think about what am I going to do with the 2 days of information. Since they're unequal, I only have 2 choices. I can either add or I can subtract. And because we're going to be putting the two days together to find one total, we're going to want to add these pieces of information. So I'm going to draw a little bracket out here to the side, and I'm going to write my addition sign. So I'm going to set up the problem. The problem's going to look like this: 5/12 plus 1/3 equals. Now the one thing that I'm noticing is that we do not have common denominators, and in order to add fractions or to subtract fractions, we must have common denominator pieces. So I have to think about how can I get a common denominator for these 2 fractions. The easiest and fastest thing to do is to take your lower denominator name, like 1/3, and see if you can count by 3s to get to 12. So let's see. If I count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh yes, I can count by 3s and get to 12. So I know that there's another name for 1/3 out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an EFT, and I'm going to skip count by 1s to find that new name. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so another name for 1/3 could be 4/12. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to rewrite my fraction using my common denominators. I didn't leave enough room to write it underneath, so I'm going to write it right next door. So that's 5/12 plus 4/12. Now that I have common denominators, I'm going to be able to add these together. So 5 plus 4 is 9, and 12 and 12, well, we do not add denominators because the denominator name basically just tells us how many equal pieces are in each whole. And what I've done here is I still have my picture, and that just tells me that this one's in 12 equal pieces. But if I wanted to, I could cut this model into 12 equal pieces too. And so the 12, the denominator, represents how many equal pieces are in the picture. There's 9 total pieces shaded in both pictures. Now, one last thing that I need to ask myself is this the lowest name that I can give this fraction? And since 9 is a higher number than 1 and 12 is an even number, I can probably think about a number that they might share so that I can simplify this fraction. So I'm going to write down my factors for 9. My factors for 9 are 1, 3, and 9. And my factors for 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And what I'm looking for is the highest number that they share. I see right away that they both share the number 3. So I can use my wonderful 1 in the form of 3/3 to get a new fraction name, and that fraction name will be 3/4. So when I put 5/12 and 1/3 together, I will get 3/4 of a mile.